What is up, guys and girls from all around the world? Today I want to make a video about BTS once again because if anything, I said so what's going to happen. And I want to make this video uninterrupted because I think it's only going to be fair to all of you guys to also see a full input on what I actually think about what is happening with the group and what is actually going to happen with BTS in the future. And what I'm going to be talking about today is actually we're going to start off with what actually happened around May. So on May 11th, I uploaded this video on the end of BTS. Now, a lot of people were like, oh, this is never going to happen. You know, if you read through some of the comments, you can clearly see there's a distinction between people going, for example, Jimin is going to go solo. He deserves to go solo. While other people still think that BTS is going to stay together. They're going to stay stuck together. Now, that is kind of cool. But after all, now in June, BTS is going on a break. So the first indication that something is going to happen to BTS and something is going to explore from it. Now, there is some good indications though about this all. I think breaks are really healthy, especially when it comes to groups. I mean, normally when you want to take a break, you want to do this to reevaluate yourself on where you are and where you want to be in the future with the group, if you even want to stay with the group. But if I look at some of the statements that are happening all around the news articles, and I picked up a few and I highlighted them. For example, this one, Rap Monster. Let me just read it out to make it really simple. RM led to talk around the table saying, I always thought that BTS was a different group, in this case I would say, from other groups. But the problem with K-pop and the whole idol system is that they don't give you time to mature. I can imagine that once you're in that cycle, you're being pumped into being something that maybe you're naturally not, which makes sense. You have to keep producing music and keep doing something. He added, I have a lot of things to say as an individual, but nothing to say as a group. In other words, if you have something to say about the group and you want to improve something or you see something negative, well, bad luck. You don't have too much to say because, hey, you're part of an industry where actually you're just the Muppet of the entire section. A little bit crazy, a little bit over the top, but that is how extreme the K-pop world is. You cannot avoid that. You know, it's sad for me to say it, but the people, all the different groups, you know, Twice, BTS, Blackpink, they were all, or they are still, just people that are being controlled by other people because they are a business. They're an asset, and most likely they're also sadly seen like this. They're only a moneymaker to all these problems. But yeah, this wasn't a point where I was like, oh, it doesn't really seem like it's going in a good direction. You know, if you got Rap Monster already saying that he's actually complaining that he has nothing to say as a group, yeah, I can see that as a legit reason for him to all of a sudden say, hey, I'm out. I'm gonna go and do my own thing. That's a really, really good element. Then we're gonna go to the second article. And then you come to, you know, everyone is being exhausted and they all were basically working on trying to make the groups itself as strong as possible, and they put many years into this. If not mistaken, 8-7 years or something, they went into the production of making BTS as big as where they are. I remember BTS, I mean, they are basically my poison getting into K-pop. This was in 2018. I first found out about BTS. I was like, holy shit, this was a really crazy experience. I was really just blown away by all the music videos and all the craziness that you see on screen. So I do want to appreciate them for this particular reason. But coming back to the story, a lot of people start saying they're not going to break up for now. And that is true. I can really imagine them not breaking up for the time being. However, I can also imagine some of the people actually finding ways to make their own solo debuts stronger. At the moment, this is also what we're seeing on all the articles, that every member is going to go more or less his own direction, which is actually an okay thing to do. They all want to experiment with themselves for the time being. And hey, a little bit of freedom is fine. Again, you can get creative over the time, and that is totally acceptable. But where am I getting worried? So during the start, when I started making the very first video, I already noticed, like I said, BTS is going to hit a wall at one point, and once you hit that wall, you're going to go downwards, and now we're in that downward spiral. What's going to come out of it, we cannot say, but we can look at past experiences. For example, if we're looking at, for example, what is it called? NSYNC with Justin Timberlake. NSYNC, for example, was one of those groups that were more or less like BTS back in the days, in the 1980s, 1990s. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful group as well. But what was the problem all of a sudden? The group also dispersed after time. For example, if you did not see this photo right now from NSYNC, and I read the following statement, you might even think that this is something that BTS would say. And that was this particular statement. We're on a stadium tour and it just felt like the whole thing was just too big. It started out as fun, a snowball fight that was becoming an avalanche. It's just becoming too much for the group itself. I'm not saying that the individual members are fake or they're too weak to handle it, but it does mean that this is a good reason for them all to spread apart a little bit, to get a little bit more air. They don't want to be covered in that avalanche. And this is why I think this is a good example to what can actually happen with a very well-known group. If we look at Justin Timberlake, he left the group. He's very successful now. And I can imagine that members from BTS are going to go try and follow their own paths as well. I mean, when we talk about Jimin, for example, I can really imagine that he is also going to try and find himself as well. We already saw that in that last video with BTS, that he wants to maybe see what his own potential is. And I'm really just excited for all the members themselves to see where they're going to go to. But this is a really important part of K-pop. You know, this is basically a repetitive pattern in groups. But the sad thing is, we just cannot say where it's going to lead to. But we should be prepared as well, in all honesty, to know that, hey, BTS really just might crumble apart bit by bit. I mean, there are already some fears that some of the members are gonna break away, and hey, that can really be true. You know, if they are gonna break away, this is going to be the right moment. They should not do it after they come back together again. They should really just make it clear to the fans and also to hype labels to say, hey, we're done. That is going to be the healthiest way to get out of it, rather than coming back together again and destroying the entire BTS reputation. Like, that will be the worst. Like, they should really come and communicate as clearly as possible to all their fan base. I mean, without the fan base, BTS is nothing. And I really hope they actually do this. I really hope they come back together and discuss this with the community, rather than just going in their own egoistic paths and decide what is the best for them, which of course is a legit thing to do, of course, but they should do this on a neutral level. I mean, now they're at the top. Now the top is about to break. Is it going to go through the roof or not? We're going to be finding out very soon. At the moment, we see some of the members already coming out with new solo songs, which is really cool. I forgot the member, but he, for example, came out with Charlie Puth. He made his own song. Really, really cool song as well. And I can imagine this is going to be the next thing, you know, from all the BTS members, just grouping up with different artists, trying to re-evaluate their lives a little bit. And if they see that this option is better, they might as well stay with their own path. But at least I hope they're going to stay friends, you know. Like, it would be really sad if BTS just split apart in a real negative way. I cannot see this happening at all, but there is this chance still for this to happen. But guys, what do you think of the entire situation? Do you think BTS is going to stick together? Are we going to find out in the next year what's going to happen? Who really knows? I mean, like I say, we already saw different groups. We also saw, for example, One Direction. They also had a little break when they were in the highlight, and look at them. They just broke apart and nothing happened to them. NSYNC, same story. This is something that I call the bottleneck. It's going to call the pressure point. We will know in the next couple of years, months, weeks, what's going to happen next. But let's just see if we can follow some trends and analyze it with different groups. But from my side, I am really just, I want to say the word excited, but at the same time, I just want to say I'm also a little bit nervous, because it would be a shame, like I say, to the K-pop world if BTS just went bloop. But the all individual members, they can just go, hey, I'm done here. And then they are gone. And then, yeah, it's an open door for the next kings to arrive on stage, you know, in the sense of sales, in the sense of the growth. And what can I say? I'm excited to a certain point. I'm also a little bit, like I say, nervous about the entire situation. But for now, guys, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. If you're looking forward to see what's going to happen next concerning the analysis, just stay tuned on the channel. Just be subscribed, hit the like button, hit the bell. And for now, I just want to say, guys, thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you soon. And of course, don't forget to put down in the comments below as well what you think is going to happen to BTS. I think they are gonna somehow stick together, but I also think that some of them are going to split apart. I can really imagine this, because at the end of the day, why be a group if you can just do it solo as well and also earn the same of money? In all realism, I prefer a stress life without the stress and only being the stress point rather than the group being the entire stress point. You know, with more people, it's just a little bit more difficult. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you on the next video and stay healthy.